There are certain things a woman should never say to you, words that instantly reveal her lack of respect, interest, or even loyalty. If she says any of these 5 things, you don't argue, you don't negotiate, you leave. Because staying will only cost you time, dignity, and self-respect. Welcome to Man of Substance, where we teach men how to navigate relationships with confidence and authority. Today, we're breaking down 5 statements that are not just red flags, they're deal breakers. These aren't small misunderstandings or casual remarks. These are clear signs that a woman does not see you as the kind of man she truly respects. Too many men ignore the warning signs, hoping things will get better. But let's be honest. When a woman tells you who she is, believe her. A woman who values you will never say certain things because she knows words have power. And the moment she crosses that line, you need to recognize it and walk away. This isn't about bitterness or getting back at her. It's about self-respect. Men who understand their worth don't waste time on women who don't. So in this video, I'll break down exactly what to look out for, why these phrases are a problem, and why leaving is your best move. Let's get into it. 1. I can't help it. It's just how I am. Men, when a woman says, I can't help it, it's just how I am, what she really means is, I'm not going to change, so deal with it. And that's a problem. A woman who refuses to take responsibility for her actions is one who will make your life miserable. She's telling you straight up that she doesn't care how her behavior affects you. Now here's where a lot of men go wrong. They think they can fix her. They tell themselves, maybe if I'm patient, she'll change. Or she just needs time. No, she doesn't. She's already made it clear that she sees no reason to change. And if a woman doesn't think she's the problem, you'll be the one bending over backward trying to make things work while she does whatever she wants. Think about it. If you mess up in a relationship and she calls you out, you're expected to acknowledge it and improve, right? But when it's her, suddenly, that's just who I am. That's not a relationship. That's a one-sided mess where she gets to do as she pleases, and you're left dealing with the fallout. This mindset is a problem because it gives her a free pass to treat you however she wants. It's a way of saying, I don't have to be better for you, but you still have to accept me. And the more you tolerate it, the worse it gets. You'll find yourself constantly justifying her behavior, telling yourself, she doesn't mean it, or maybe I'm being too sensitive. But deep down, you know this isn't right. Let's say you're dating a woman who constantly disrespects you when she's upset. She calls you names, belittles you, and even embarrasses you in front of others. One day, you finally stand up for yourself and say, I don't like the way you talk to me. Instead of taking accountability, she fires back with, I can't help it. I have a temper. That's just how I am. At that moment, you have 2 choices. Stay and accept that this will never change, or walk away with your self-respect intact. A woman who truly cares about you will acknowledge when she's wrong and make an effort to improve. But if she refuses to take responsibility now, she never will. And don't think this excuse is limited to arguments. If she cheats, lies, or constantly disrespects you, she'll use the same line. I can't help it. It's just who I am. That's how she keeps herself from feeling guilty, and that's how she keeps you under control. The truth is, when a woman gives you this excuse, she's testing you. She wants to see if you'll tolerate her worst behavior. And if you do, she'll only push the boundaries further. The moment you hear this phrase, don't argue, don't try to convince her. Just understand what she's really saying, I won't change for you. And the only response to that is to walk away. 2. I get bored easily in relationships. When a woman tells you, I get bored easily in relationships, she's giving you a clear warning. She lacks emotional depth, stability, and loyalty. What she's really saying is, I need constant excitement, and if I don't get it, I'll start looking elsewhere. And if a woman openly admits that she gets bored fast, do not fool yourself into thinking you'll be the exception. A woman like this is addicted to the thrill of something new. She craves the highs of fresh attention, the butterflies of a new connection, and the chase. But once the excitement fades, she checks out emotionally. And when that happens, she'll either start creating unnecessary drama to entertain herself or keep her options open in case someone more exciting comes along. Either way, you'll never have real stability with her. Now, a lot of men fall into the trap of thinking, maybe if I keep things interesting, she won't get bored with me. So they go out of their way to entertain her, plan extravagant dates, or constantly try to keep her engaged. But no matter what you do, it will never be enough. The problem isn't that relationships are boring, it's that she has no ability to appreciate consistency and deep connection. Let's say you're dating a woman like this. At first, everything is exciting. She's constantly texting, can't wait to see you, and makes you feel like you're the only man in the world. But after a few months, she starts pulling away. She's not as affectionate, she seems distracted, and when you ask what's wrong, she shrugs and says, I don't know, I just get bored easily. This is your sign to leave. Because once she starts feeling that boredom, she'll either emotionally check out, find someone new to give her that spark, or start picking fights just to create drama. And the worst part? She won't even feel guilty about it. To her, it's just how relationships are. Temporary and disposable. A woman who values loyalty, connection, and commitment doesn't get bored in a relationship. She finds excitement in building something strong with you. If she's already warning you that she doesn't have that mindset, believe her. Don't waste your time trying to be the man who keeps her entertained. She's already telling you she's not built for something real. Walk away. 3. Other guys treat their women better. The moment a woman says, other guys treat their women better, she's planting doubt in your mind. She wants you to feel like you're not enough, like you're failing as a man. And if you take the bait, you'll start overcompensating, doing more, giving more, and bending over backward just to keep her happy. But here's the truth. A woman who truly values you won't compare you to other men. Now, let's be real. Relationships require effort, and sometimes a woman might express what she needs. That's normal. But when she starts throwing comparisons at you, especially in a way that makes you feel inadequate, that's manipulation. She's not looking for a solution. She's looking for control. Think about it. If she genuinely felt something was missing in the relationship, she'd communicate with you directly. She'd tell you what she needs without making you feel like you're in competition with other men. But when she says other guys do this for their women, she's putting you in a position where you feel like you have to prove your worth. And the more you chase her approval, the less she'll respect you. A strong man doesn't get rattled by these kinds of comments. He knows his value and understands that no relationship should be built on guilt or comparison. If she's focused on what other men are doing, that's her problem, not yours. Instead of scrambling to meet some imaginary standard she set, you need to recognize the game she's playing and refuse to participate. Because let's be honest, if she truly believed another man would treat her better, she'd be with him. But she's not. She's with you. And that means one of two things. Either she doesn't actually believe what she's saying, or she's using this tactic to keep you constantly working for her approval. Either way, the moment you start letting these words affect you, you're giving her the upper hand. The best response? Hold your ground. If she wants to compare you to other men, let her. But don't let it shake your confidence. A woman who respects you will appreciate what you bring to the table without needing to dangle other men over your head like some kind of leverage. At the end of the day, you don't need to compete with anyone. If she can't see your value, walk away. Let her go chase the fantasy of other guys. You'll be just fine without her. 4. You're just being paranoid. Ever had that moment where something doesn't sit right, but the second you bring it up, she shuts you down? You're not overthinking. You're not imagining things. But instead of getting a straight answer, you get hit with, you're just being paranoid. This isn't just a phrase. It's a tactic. A way to dodge accountability and make you question yourself instead of her actions. When a woman says this, she's not trying to reassure you. She's trying to make sure you stop asking questions. And the worst part? It works. Too many men start doubting their instincts the moment a woman flips the blame onto them. You notice she's acting distant. She's suddenly secretive with her phone. She's laughing a little too much at another man's jokes. You bring it up, Not even accusing, just asking. But instead of a real answer, you get, wow, you're so insecure. Now, instead of discussing the real issue, you're on the defensive, explaining yourself, proving you're not paranoid. See the game? A woman who respects you won't treat your concerns like they're a joke. She won't make you feel like a fool for noticing a shift in her behavior. If she values you, she'll communicate, not manipulate. But the moment she makes you feel guilty for paying attention, that's a major red flag. And let's be real, this phrase doesn't just show up in relationships. A woman who constantly dismisses your thoughts, your feelings, your gut instincts, she'll do it in every situation. She'll twist things in arguments, downplay disrespect, and make you question things that are right in front of you. And if you let this slide, it'll only get worse. Over time, you'll start second-guessing yourself more and more. You'll hesitate before bringing things up, wondering if maybe you're just imagining things. And once she knows you've started doubting yourself, she has complete control. She can cross any line, say anything, do anything, and you'll be too wrapped up in your own self-doubt to stop it. This is how men end up trapped in toxic situations, holding onto a relationship that's already slipping through their fingers. Because by the time they realize they weren't paranoid at all, it's usually too late. The truth is simple. A woman who cares about you won't play mind games. She won't dismiss your concerns like they're nothing. And the moment she does, that's your cue to walk away. 5. I can do whatever I want. When a woman tells you, I can do whatever I want, what she's really saying is, your feelings don't matter, and I'm not accountable to you. That right there is a big red flag. A woman with this mindset sees relationships as a one-way street. She gets to do whatever pleases her, but if you did the same, suddenly there's a problem. Men who ignore this warning sign always end up frustrated. You might think, she just wants her freedom, or I don't want to be controlling. But let's be honest, there's a difference between healthy independence and straight-up disrespect. A woman who values you will consider how her actions affect you. But when she throws out, I can do whatever I want, in response to something that clearly disrespects the relationship, she's making one thing clear. She doesn't care. This type of woman will go out partying all night and expect you to be fine with it. She'll flirt with other men right in front of you and act like you're the problem if you say anything. She'll make reckless decisions that put your relationship at risk, but will never take responsibility for them. And if you ever try to set a boundary, she'll accuse you of being controlling or insecure. The sad part? A lot of men tolerate this because they don't want to come across as weak or possessive. But real strength isn't in putting up with disrespect. It's in walking away from it. A woman who truly respects you won't even have to be told where the line is, because she already knows. She won't treat your relationship like a game where she gets all the freedom while you're expected to stay quiet and accept it. And let's flip it for a second. Imagine if you told her, I can do whatever I want. Do you think she'd be okay with that? If you started acting like her, keeping your options open, doing things that made her uncomfortable, and ignoring her feelings, how long do you think she'd stick around? Exactly. The double standard is obvious. At the end of the day, a relationship should be built on mutual respect. A woman who genuinely wants to be with you will act like it. But a woman who constantly reminds you that she can do whatever she wants, she's already showing you that she doesn't take the relationship seriously. And if she doesn't respect the relationship, why should you? 6. I can leave any time. There's a difference between a woman who values her independence and a woman who constantly reminds you that she can walk away at any moment. When she says, I can leave any time, she's not just stating a fact, she's testing you. She wants to see how much power she has over you. If she truly cared about the relationship, she wouldn't be looking for ways to make you feel insecure about it. A woman who respects you will work through problems with you. She won't throw the relationship in your face every time there's a disagreement. But the moment she starts using this line, she's sending a message. I don't take this seriously. And if she doesn't, why should you? The mistake most men make is reacting emotionally. They panic. They start over-explaining themselves, apologizing, and trying to convince her to stay. But the second you do this, she knows she's in control. She realizes that just by saying she might leave, she can get you to chase her, compromise your standards, and let her do whatever she wants. This kind of woman thrives on power. She wants you to believe she's the prize that you need to keep winning over. But think about it. If she really wanted to leave, she wouldn't announce it like a threat. She'd just go. When someone genuinely wants out of a relationship, they don't dangle it over the other person's head. They simply make their decision and move on. Now, let's flip the situation. Imagine if you told her, "I can leave anytime." How would she react? Would she stay calm, or would she suddenly demand reassurance? The truth is, most women who use this phrase wouldn't be able to handle it if the roles were reversed. Because deep down, they're not looking for a way out. They're looking for control. Let's say you're in a relationship with a woman who brings this up every time there's an issue. You calmly express a concern, and instead of addressing it, she responds with, "If you don't like it, I'll just leave." At that moment, you have a choice. You can either beg her to stay and lose her respect, or you can call her bluff and show that you're not afraid to let her go. A strong man knows his worth. He doesn't entertain women who see relationships as a power struggle. If she's more focused on keeping an exit door open than building something real, let her walk through it. 7. I don't owe you anything. If a woman says, "I don't owe you anything," then she's making a statement about how she views the relationship. And here's the thing. Technically, she's right. Nobody owes you anything. Respect, effort, love. These things should come naturally, not be forced. But when a woman uses this line, she's usually not talking about basic human decency. What she's really saying is, "I'll take what you give, but don't expect anything in return." This is where too many men go wrong. They ignore the red flag and think if they just prove their value, she'll eventually see their worth. So they keep giving time, attention, effort, while she keeps taking. And when he finally asks for something in return, she hits him with, "I don't owe you anything." Wake up. A woman who values you won't say this. She won't dismiss your efforts or act like you're out of line for expecting basic respect. A relationship isn't a one-way street where only you put in the work. If she sees no reason to reciprocate, that means she doesn't respect you. And the harsh truth? That's your fault for allowing it. Men who tolerate this mindset are the ones who end up in miserable, one-sided relationships. They keep investing, hoping one day she'll appreciate them. But appreciation never comes. The more you give, the less she respects you, because deep down, she knows you're doing it to earn something. And if she senses that, she'll never see you as the kind of man she truly desires. Think about it. If a woman you admire put effort into you, would you brush her off and say, "I don't owe you anything"? Of course not. When you value someone, you naturally want to give back. That's the foundation of any real connection. So when she says this to you, understand what it really means. She doesn't value you enough to make an effort. And here's the hard truth. The only reason she keeps saying this is because you keep staying. If you don't want to be treated like an afterthought, stop acting like one. A woman will never respect a man who tolerates disrespect. So if she believes she owes you nothing, take the hint and give her nothing in return. 8. You need to prove yourself to me. When a woman tells you, "You need to prove yourself to me," she's already put you in a position of weakness. She's letting you know that in her eyes, you are the one who needs to qualify for her, not the other way around. And if you fall for this trap, you'll spend the entire relationship chasing her validation, instead of building something real. Here's the problem. A relationship isn't a competition where one person has to earn their place while the other just sits back and judges. A woman who sees you as an equal won't put you through endless tests just to see if you're worthy of her attention. Instead, she'll meet you at the same level. She'll show effort, just like you. But when a woman takes this attitude, what she's really saying is, "I don't see you as enough." She wants you to work for her approval, because she believes you're below her. And the moment you start jumping through hoops to prove yourself, you've lost. You're telling her, yes, I need to win you over, which automatically puts her in the dominant position. A high-value man doesn't play this game. He knows his worth. He doesn't need to prove himself to a woman, because he's already built his life in a way that speaks for itself. And here's the real kicker. Women don't even respect men who try too hard to impress them. The moment she senses you're bending over backward to meet her impossible standards, she'll lose interest. Now let's be clear. This doesn't mean you shouldn't strive to be a great man, but the difference is, you do it for yourself, not to win her approval. If a woman sees your value, she'll recognize it on her own. If she doesn't, then you're wasting your time trying to convince her. Men who fall into this trap end up exhausted, constantly trying to meet shifting expectations. And the worst part? The more they do, the less they get in return. Because the moment she sees that you're desperate to prove yourself, she knows she has full control. The solution? Walk away. Any woman who makes you feel like you need to earn her just to be treated with respect isn't worth your time. You're not an entertainer, a performer, or a contestant. You're a man. And the right woman will see that without you having to prove a damn thing. Let's get one thing straight. Women don't accidentally say these things. Every word is a test, a signal, or a warning. And as a man, your job isn't to decode hidden meanings or play therapist. Your job is to recognize when a woman doesn't respect you and act accordingly. Because if you don't, you'll end up in a relationship where you're constantly chasing approval while she keeps moving the finish line. And here's the controversial truth most men don't want to hear. If a woman truly values you, she won't put you in a position where you have to question your worth. She won't test you with disrespect, comparisons, or ultimatums. The moment you feel like you're being managed instead of valued, you've already lost. I know a lot of you have been in these situations before, and I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever dealt with a woman who played these games? What did you do? I'll be reading your stories and responding because this is something men need to talk about more. At the end of the day, a man of substance doesn't tolerate nonsense. He doesn't beg, he doesn't chase, and he sure as hell doesn't prove himself to someone who doesn't appreciate him. He walks away, and that's the only power move that truly matters.